from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring. We are Basin trusted, Basin proud. This is ABC Big 2 News at 6.
We start with a breaking news update. Midland police have made an arrest in connection with a deadly hit and run. It's a story we first told you about last night at 10. 19-year-old Armando Barba is now facing charges. Police say Barba hit and killed 23-year-old Theron Brown early Sunday morning. Good evening, I'm Carson Bush-Jost.
And I'm Madeline Bierster. An MPD just shared these pictures with us. Police say these two men are wanted in connection to Brown's death. If you recognize them, call Crime Stoppers.
And Odessa police are on the hunt for this man. Police say he took nearly $500 worth of items from Walmart on Loop 338 last month.
Odessa police are also looking to catch this man. Investigators say he used a stolen credit card to buy more than $300 worth of goods at Sunglass Hut. If you have any information about these crimes, call Crime Stoppers. This man is behind bars tonight after police say he left his dog in a hot car for hours and the dog died. Christopher Penn is charged with animal cruelty. The dog was found inside the car on Monday at the MCM Elegante. Police want to remind everyone not to leave their pets inside of their vehicles, especially as the temperatures continue to rise.
Yeah, an important reminder for all because it's hot, like really hot out there. Let's check in with Chase right now.
Chase, it's going to get even hotter.
That's right. Yeah, temperatures are only on their way up for now, and that's a lot of heat with a lot of energy as well. So we could be looking at a chance for thunderstorms a little later on here in the basin. Highs so far have made it up to 99 degrees, just 1 degree shy of those triple digits, but we do have a couple of hours of sunshine left in the sky. Could be looking at the official almanac updating with 100-plus degree temperatures before the end of the evening. We did just get a severe thunderstorm warning right around Fort Stockton. You can see a very powerful storm tracking very slowly to the north. This severe thunderstorm warning expiring at 7 p.m. this evening. And again, could be looking at a chance for some of these storms to start sprouting up here in the basin as we get a little closer to dinner time. And we also do have a heat advisory in effect until 8 p.m. this evening, as well as another heat advisory issued for tomorrow already, lasting until 8 p.m. tomorrow night too for those hot temperatures. I'll take a look at where those temperatures land coming up. But first, back to you, Madeline.
Well, a lot of drivers are frustrated with all of the construction projects going on. ABC Big 2's Rob Tuke has more on what we can expect.
We're getting an update on some major road projects happening now around Odessa. And for drivers hitting the road this summer or who will be on their daily commute, these projects are something to be aware of.
The number one thing is just slow down and realize it's going to add travel time to your daily commute.
TxDOT says they have some big projects on Loop 338. The first is the construction of an overpass at East Yukon.
Anytime you can build a grade separation and overpass, it reduces the number of conflict points in an intersection and it just makes for a safer corridor.
An overpass is also being built on Loop 338 at North 385, north of Odessa. Workers were out in full force with drivers slowing down because of the work zone. TxDOT says there will be traffic control in the area and lanes closed for as long as the project lasts. For these projects, just how long is that?
Projects coming along, it's still real early in its stages. It'll still be going for probably another 18 months or so.
Another ongoing project is on I-20 in between Midland and Odessa at County Road 1250. An overpass is being built there.
Well, frankly, they're paying for motorists for a while. If you can't find an alternate route and you have to go through a construction zone, it can just be, worrisome and tiresome when it lasts for several months on end.
A deadly crash happened on I-20 on Monday. 2 people lost their lives. According to DPS, an 18-wheeler slowed down as it neared a construction zone. It was hit from behind by a truck with 2 people inside. The importance of giving an alert about these work projects is all about safety.
Most crashes that happen in work zones are rear-end collisions because people are going too fast.
And the second most important thing.
Probably never drive behind barricades, never try to go around barricades because you can't always see what's behind the barricade.
And TxDOT says for drivers going through these project areas to look out for workers on the side of the road and to drive carefully. In Odessa, I'm Rob Tuke, ABC Big 2 News.
TxDOT is holding a public meeting to get your opinion on US 285 north of Pecos. The virtual meeting is happening 1 week from today. For more information and meeting discussion topics, head to yourbasin.com.
At the border, Big Bend sector agents are staying busy, and now agents are actually partnering with the Mexican government to do rescue missions like this one in the Rio Grande. And it's not slowing down for agents in that area. A bust in Valentine led to the discovery of more than 50 undocumented migrants trying to get into West Texas.
Vice President Kamala Harris is back in Washington today after making her first foreign trip as vice president. ABC Big 2's Anna Warnicki is in Washington with more.
Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. It's very good to see you.
In her final stop on her first foreign trip, Vice President Kamala Harris met with Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador in Mexico City to talk about how to handle the border that separates the two countries.
Let's talk about what's going on in the places that are causing the issue at the border.
But back on Capitol Hill, Wyoming Republican Senator John Barrasso says if Harris wants to talk about the southern border, she should do it at the southern border.
She's going to Central America and to Mexico, but not to the border.
Barrasso says it's been 2 months since President Biden put Harris in charge of the surge of migrants crossing over from Mexico. And Barrasso says she has yet to see the situation firsthand.
She's found time to make it to the Canadian border, but not time to make it to the border between the United States and Mexico.
At some point, she may go to the border. We'll see.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki defended the vice president, saying that right now her focus is on addressing the root causes of migration.
What her focus has been, what the assignment is specifically, is to work with leaders in the Northern Triangle.
Harris says she doesn't want the conversation about where she is to overshadow the work she's doing.
Listen, I've been to the border before. I will go again.
The White House says DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will return to Mexico next week to continue the conversation about immigration. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
And you can follow how the White House is tackling the situation at the border on your phone with the Your Basin app.
Well, oil prices topped out at $70 a barrel after the OPEC Plus alliance. But what does that mean for us back home here in the Permian Basin? ABC Big 2's Mark Thomas has this week's Powering the Permian.
On Wednesday, West Texas Intermediate was last trading at just over $70 a barrel. Now, the last time the U.S. benchmark oil contract traded above $70 was October 2018. This price mark, or what some would probably call a comeback, was driven in part by pandemic recovery and demand for things like jet fuel and gasoline. This comes on the heels of the pandemic winding down in many places and economies around the world starting to get back to normal. Normal like celebrating holidays outside the home. Millions of Americans hit the road for Memorial Day, and they were paying more at the pump too. Gasoline is about $3 a gallon nationally. The number of oil rigs operating in the United States fell from the last update. As of June 4th, Baker Hughes reports there are 456 rigs operating in this country. That's one less rig than it was at last count. For more Powering the Permian topics, visit yourbasin.com.
All right, thanks, Mark. And here in the Permian Basin, there are 233 rigs up and running right now. That's up 2 from last week and nearly 150 more than this time last year.
Well, hospitals all over the basin are starting to require masks again, even after the state mandate has been lifted. Medical Center Hospital is now asking anyone who plans to visit the hospital to mask up. This is a request of the CMS, which is the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. The hospital says this will not change the current visitation policy in place. And the same thing is happening at Midland Memorial as well. This order goes into effect tomorrow at 5 a.m. Memorial Hospital announced anyone entering the hospital will be screened as well upon arrival.
The U.S. is unlikely to reach President Biden's July 4th vaccination goal. That's according to the latest numbers. The president's goal is to have 70% of Americans vaccinated by the 4th. The administration claims if the goal is not reached, it will have little effect on the overall recovery from the coronavirus. If you need a shot, Midland Community Healthcare has you covered. After seeing a big turnout last week, the clinic has now decided to give out shots every Saturday until they run out. Well, controversy continues to surround the COVID-19 vaccine here in Texas.
Governor Greg Abbott preventing businesses from requiring vaccine passports. Senate Bill 968 was signed into law Monday. Those working on the bill say it ultimately boils down to protecting healthcare privacy.
No business or government entity can require a person to provide a vaccine passport or any other vaccine information as a condition of receiving any service or entering any place.
Those that don't comply risk losing state funding for grants or contracts.
You can read more about that bill on yourbasin.com.
And coming up, high temperatures are still on the rise, if you can believe that. But thankfully, allergen levels haven't moved around too much. We're still sitting at moderate levels of that trees and weeds pollen, as well as mold spores. Check out JohnDBrayMD.com for more information if you need to. And stay tuned after the break. I've got a look at those rising high temperatures coming up.
Tornadoes tear through parts of Texas. We'll have a snapshot of the damage coming up.
And one indoor football team is taking to the field for the very first time at home. A look ahead to the matchup in sports.
And feeding local students in need. The unique food pantry that's making sure no one goes hungry.
This weekend, we're giving back to the community, and we need your help. Join us Saturday for ABC Big 2's Founders Day of Caring. Come out and meet the whole ABC Big 2 crew and give back to a good cause. Stop by from 10:30 to 5 and drop off canned donations. Then you'll be able to get a meal for free. There will be face painting, games, and a mobile adoption clinic. You won't want to miss it.
Can't wait. And as we had to break, a reminder that if you see news happening, share your videos and photos on social media with us. Just use the hashtag ABC Big 2 News. And if you haven't done it yet, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're ABC Big 2 News.